Hello, my name's Elizabeth and I work for Cambridgeshire Libraries. This video is part of our programme for the Silly Squad Summer Reading Challenge 2020. Today I'm going to show you how to make foil pictures. I've chosen to make a rockhopper penguin because they're funny and they've got a silly hairdo, but you can choose whichever picture you like. For this craft you'll need a piece of paper, a piece of cardboard, mine's just from a box. You can use a cereal box, but I wouldn't advise you use anything thinner than that. A pencil, a pair of scissors, glue, I've got PVA and a brush, or you can use a Pritt stick, foil, string or yarn, or you can use paper if you haven't got anything like that, Sharpies, a blunt pencil and tissues because you're going to get messy. Okay, so once you've decided what you want to draw, this is our rockhopper picture. You need to glue it onto your piece of cardboard. If you've got a duller side, it's better to use that. Oh, can't get my lid off. Okay, so my picture's not exactly in the middle, so I'm going to put mine slightly lopsided on my piece of paper. Okay, and then you're ready to start. Okay, so now it's time to get messy. You'll need your picture on your card, your glue, your scissors and your string. So first we're going to effectively draw around our picture with the glue. It doesn't have to be exactly on the lines. It doesn't matter if you make a mess. So once you've painted your glue on, you can start to stick your string on. And it's easier if you do it in sections. Okay. Going around the feet can be a little bit fiddly. I find if you've got a point, it's better to take it off and pinch it before you try to stick it down. Okay, if you don't like gooey fingers, this isn't the craft for you. Okay, so you need to keep going, covering all the lines on your picture, and it should end up looking something like this one. While you're waiting for that to dry, it's time to go for a drink and a biscuit and a story. Okay, so now it's time to add the shiny bit. For this piece, you'll need your picture, more glue, and your foil. What we're going to do first is paint the whole thing with glue. Doesn't matter if it starts to dry because it will still be tacky, but try to make sure you get it down between all the gaps in between your stringy bits. Okay, so I'm just using a smaller brush to go over the string, and then just for speed you can use a bigger brush to cover the whole area. Try not to leave too big splodges because then it just makes it really horrible when you're trying to add the shiny stuff. Okay, so just make sure you cover the whole piece of paper. So as you can see, I've got the whole thing covered in glue, top to bottom. Ooh! And this is where we add the shiny. You can use the dull side or the shiny side. I'm going to use the shiny side. Doesn't matter too much how much you have hanging over. Best to start in the middle, and you just press it down, find where the string is and poke it down in between the toes, flatten his tummy, around the edges. You might find that you get little holes. It really doesn't matter too much. But if you don't want little holes in your foil, just tear off a scrap, stick some glue on the back and stick it over your hole, and it will be absolutely fine. Keep going from the middle outwards. There's his arms, his feet and his tummy. There's his nose and his eyes, and now we've got his funny hairdo up here. Okay, once you've got all your features of your penguin or whatever picture you've chosen to do, just press. See, my little bits come off. That's because the glue's not dry yet. There we go. Pop him back on. Press it down onto the card. Turn it over and just fold it over. There we go. Hopefully, oh, it's come off again. Hopefully you can see a penguin in there. Okay, so we've got our foil covered penguin. I left it to dry for a little bit because we're going to do some decoration on it now. And this is what you need your blunt pencil for. So I've got one that's just almost nothing on the end there. Okay, so I'm going to make little squiggles in my foil so it looks a little bit like water around my penguin. You can decorate this however you want to. What else am I going to do? I'll do some twirlies on his tummy. You can do as much or as little of this as you like. If you want to, you can stick things on. Use whatever you've got at home. If you want to make texture, you can put things underneath before you stick your foil on. Just depends what you've got at home. Okay, so I've got twirls on his tummy and little squiggly waves on the bottom. Okay, so now this is the bit where your hands are going to get messy. Look, see, I've already got messy fingers. So we're going to add some colour to our foil picture, and we're going to use Sharpies. So I'm just going to colour very loosely on here, and then we're going to spread the colour out with our fingers. See, look. Probably should make sure it's okay with Mummy before you do this bit. Okay, so there's my C, and I'm going to do his twizzly tummy with some more twizzles, some coloured twizzles on his tummy. Let's see if those will smudge, shall we? We'll use a different finger and get a different colour. There we go. just a little bit. I've got pink finger now, see? Okay, there's his nose, his beak. And eyes. And let's go all out with his hair, because he is a rock hopper after all. So he's got to have brightly coloured hair. Some extra bits in. Do like a funny hairdo. There we go. And there is my rocker hopper penguin. Obviously you can use this technique to do whatever picture you want to do and whatever size you want to do. You could do a bunch of flowers for grandma, or you could do a shiny car, or a rainbow fish, or a rainbow mural to go in your window. Anyway, whatever you do, don't forget to go to Cambridgeshire Library's website and join up for the Summer Reading Challenge. If you're not already a library member, you can join up online and look at all the fun and interesting things we have to do. See you again. Bye.